What's up, everybody? YouTube land. Jay Ross up at Gateway Area Bible Fellowship Apostolic Church in East St. Louis, Illinois, where my main man Levi 2 King is the minister of music, chief bottle washer, roofer, everything. Just sitting up. First of all, y'all, I got to give a disclaimer that I'm biased with this interview. Two happen to be one of my favorite people on the planet. Right now, we're going to get into the interview, y'all. First of all, too, just give us some background on how you got started and where you're trying to go from here.
I got started in what, the music thing?
No, well, producing. Let's start with producing.
Oh, producing? I think I had to be about 17 years old, and there's a school in Kinloch. The lady who taught music at the school was actually our musician at the church. So she hired me to do some of the little tracks on my keyboard for this little recording they had. And the school was, I can't think of the name of it. Queen or something.
Oh, yeah?
Anyway, it's a Christian school, and she hired me to do it, and the money they paid me, man, was so good. You know, I was 17, and from there, I knew that's what I was going to do forever. So it just kind of happened. You know, it wasn't like one project. You know, I did get introduced to a guy. He just died a couple years ago. His name was Pastor J.D. Temples, one of our Caucasian brothers out of Indiana. That did kind of push me. He was in the production, and he brought us out to Indiana in the backwoods. We thought we was going to get lynched out there, but took us to his studio, and that kind of made me just do this. You know, like, oh, this is really what I want to do.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the things that kind of did it.
But what about like I get a lot of hits from young cats from all over the country saying they producers. What's the first thing in production that you would have a young guy that's coming up to venture into, to take a serious look at?
Like, as far as what? Exactly.
As far as, like, you know, when you first start, you know, you got a lot of bootleg producers. How do you go from bootleg to professional when you know?
Well, the one thing I think, the only way I know to answer that question for real, most people don't know, like with a producer, people, you know, the younger cats think, let me get a keyboard, let me get Reason, let me get Fruity Loops, put together some tracks. And
Fruity Loops, what is that dude down on down on Martin Luther King?
They think they can do that, and it makes them a producer.
Yeah.
You know, the best way to explain it as a producer, it's really it's a thought thing. It's learning how to take somebody else's vision for real and shape it and mold it. The best way I can explain it is like a professional painter, a professional artist. You know, let's say Jay Ross goes to a professional artist and he says, "This is the picture that I want. I want this for my wall. You know, I want this to hang in my living room, and I want trees hanging from the sun. I want kids walking around in clouds, and I want cars driving upside down." Your job as the painter is to make it happen and make it look like it's supposed to be that way, instead of as the painter saying, "Well, you know, cars ain't supposed to fly upside down, and trees not supposed to do this." Your job as a good painter is to make it look like it's supposed to be that way, because that's what they're paying for, basically. You know. So as a producer, that's how it is. If somebody come to me and say, "I want this to sound like I'm beating on a trash can," I got to make it sound like it's beating on a trash can, and use pretty much my ability and my skill to make that sound good. So as a whole thing, everybody wants to be a producer just because they can lay some nice beats. Now, don't get it twisted. A lot of them young cats' beats and music is way better than mine. There ain't no doubt about it. The only difference is I know how to listen to the artist, and I make their vision and their dream and everything come alive, come to life the way they want it, not the way I want it, but the way they want it, just polished with, you know, I use my tools to polish it, to make it shine.
Percentage-wise, how big is a factor is being able to hear?
As far
as a producer?
Oh, man. Whew. At least about 80%.
So now, is that equipment produced? I mean, you know, your speakers and all that, or is it just your ability to hear?
Oh, you talking about like naturally hearing? You saying?
Right.
Oh, okay. Nah. With that, that, you know, that's one of my secrets. If I told you that, you know, I could tell you. That's the question that everybody email me and ask me. You know, everybody think it's a big secret. It's not a secret. That was a joke for everybody who knows me. It ain't really no secret. It's about getting something that's good and listening to it and pretty much lining your stuff up with their stuff. You know, that's how I listen. I call it A/B reference.
Well, anyway, what about studio etiquette? Like you have people come by, singers, or the, professionalism, being on time, or cat fighting.
The thing with studio etiquette is shut up in the studio. That's the main thing. I just can't stand people to talk in the background, singing along while I'm trying to do music. All of that. Pretty much it's like being seen and not heard. It's that whole thing. Speak when spoken.